Hello and welcome to Work Hard, Dream Harder. We're just two best friends trying to figure out life and trying to live a life to the fullest. So let's work hard and dream harder together.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Work Hard, Dream Harder. We're going to be talking about toxic relationships and the media.
What is that accent, bro? I don't know what that was, but hello. We're going to talk about
Toxic relationships in the media, because most of them are very toxic.
aka excuse to trash the notebook, because
Don't even get me started about The Notebook, right? Isn't The Notebook like one of the top 3 romance films in the world or something like that? What was it? Was it top 3?
yeah, something on IMDb.
Yeah, and that vexed me because I am sorry, but it is one of the most toxic relationships in the world.
You know what trumps that? High School Musical. But the thing is, right, I was talking to someone who was a lot older than me, one of my co-workers, and she was just like, she points out, yeah, so is High School Musical. I was like, wait a minute. It's like...
So High School Musical is such a weird film because it's a film about callbacks. It isn't even a film about the final production.
But,
anyway, yeah.
But we're saying that it teaches kids to think what Gabriella and Troy had was normal.
Didn't they date for like 2 days though?
Yeah, but then every single movie, Gabriella and Troy are like, I don't want to see you again. There's always a song where it's just like goodbye.
I wanna go my own way.
A rock song.
Do, 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 do. I don't know the lyrics, and I refuse to hurt the ears of the people who are listening to this.
But I'm just saying, like, I think she made a good point, and I think because I watched The Notebook recently,
I forced her to.
I saw it as toxic. But then again, the people who've seen it when it come out, they didn't think it that way. You remember when I bought the Ryan Gosling? I was on the phone to you.
Ryan Gosling.
I bought a Ryan Gosling calendar, and then the woman was just like, "Oh, he was so good in The Notebook," and I was just like,
Yes, the acting was incredible, but the character is a toxic arsehole. I mean, they're both pretty toxic, to be fair.
and I was just like, but then again, somebody made a good point, like, they're 17. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
And then she's just like,
It's still a bit extreme for 17, though. Doesn't he threaten to kill himself unless she goes on a date with him? Wow, she's on another date. What the hell?
I think because we see that from us. When did you see The Notebook? When were you like?
Oh God, I was quite young when Mum forced me to watch it.
But then
I want to say like maybe 14, 15. I can't remember.
I think all these, like, even all the Cinderella movies, like the Disney movies, they put in the idea that
You have to go for the prince, no matter what. Even though he only likes you for your feet, or the fact that you are in a coma, in a coffin. Cinderella and Snow White.
And why does Aladdin always the only one who's a poor guy? Like, all of them are rich except Aladdin.
He's technically not a prince, though, is he? Because Jasmine isn't a princess. She's technically a sultan's daughter. What's that?
Yeah.
Doesn't she become a sultan though? Or is that just the live action? Yeah.
Which I like that. But it defeats the point. You're telling these kids that you shouldn't be treated well, like...
Yeah, you have to just go for, like, the rich... The main guy. The main character. The rich, handsome guy.
We were talking about this. James Marsden's character in The Notebook. He was so understanding.
I did not realise that was James Marsden. Continue.
He went off with the CGI animals. The bunny rabbits.
Hey, Enchanted is a fantastic film.
Oh, the squirrel!
Yeah!
Oh
I loved it. I love Enchanted.
wait, wait. You're telling me that James Marsden has the... Right. Off the point, right? This is a quick rumbles. So I realised James Marsden quit being the... he was an X-Men, right? He quitted X-Men. Well, he didn't quit. Well, his character left the X-Men. And then now he's like with that 4 or 5 CGI animals.
Like, we've got like Hop, Enchanted.
Sonic.
Oh yeah, Sonic. What was the other one?
Squirrel. Hedgehog.
Hedgehog. Oh yeah,
Toy
Sonic.
Rabbit.
I swear there's another one. If there is another one, let us know which one we've missed, because it's going to bother me now. He is quite understanding, because some bloke is literally hanging off a Ferris wheel in front of him, threatening to kill himself if she doesn't go on a date with him. And he's like, you're right.
Yeah, but that's another guy.
Wait, is that another guy?
That's another guy.
Oh, I'm getting confused.
But the reason why... So she goes...
Oh, this is the one that she's... It's
Rich
his
guy.
fiance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she goes back, and she goes back to wherever she met Ryan Gosling's character.
Noah?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to mess with my head. My partner's called Noah.
We'll just call it Ryan Gosling's character, right? So she goes back. It was 2 days before they were getting married, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. So she goes and messes up what she... And James Marsden's character...
Isn't this when she sleeps with Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like,
James...
what? Like, girl, you were about to get married. Carry on.
And so James Marsden says, there's only 3 things I can do, and I don't want to do anyway. Beat Noah up, beat the Ryan Gosling's character up, live without you, or let you go. And at that point, I was just like, bro still wants to be with her.
Yeah, it's just stupid if someone cheats and you move on.
Yeah. But I was just like, bro. And I think from when I see it, I'm just like, bro, like, obviously she cheated on you. You'll always be the second guy. And I'm happy that they never got back together. Because there was no way. I know. We don't...
He would have been treated like rubbish.
The movie says that when they were like young, that all they did was make love and argue.
Isn't that what she says?
There was some narration guy.
Oh, I can't remember. It's so long ago since I watched it.
Basically, you just see the community. It's like, now looking back at it, what was a red flag? If you can't communicate...
And they just argued all the time.
Yeah, you couldn't communicate, right? You're infatuated by the idea of he's not a rich guy, in my eyes. And I'm like, this whole thing could have... Even when they reconnect, she doesn't even mention, did you get my letters?
Yeah. Wasn't that like a massive...
It was a massive thing, but nobody had the maturity to be like, so you didn't write to my letters. It was just like, left as... Like, they didn't communicate.
Yeah.
They just made love.
It's like, Noah, like, all he saw was a future with her. And it's like, well, if she's moved on, you need to move on too.
The house.
Oh, God.
The house scene where people were just giving him money left, right and centre for this stupid house. And in the back of his head, he was just like, but she'll come back to me. And wasn't he alcoholic? Like, he never got over it.
Yeah, I think so. It's like, if you're so infatuated by someone that you are literally stopping everything to imagine a life with them that might not even happen because they have moved on, like, it's just toxic.
And I think what I'd like to see how they get to the older couple.
Yeah, because when they're an older couple, it seems really cute, really sweet, like they've been there for each other the entire time. But how do you get to that from just arguing with each other all the time? Like, I don't understand.
And how didn't kids as well? I'm just like, and I feel like if that's all you see, you're kind of like, okay, then is love just toxic? Like, meow, 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 meow. Talky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, the word I was looking for is arguing. Because, now there's this guy on TikTok, he waves a green and red flag.
Oh, he's fantastic. I love watching his videos.
And I was just like, looking back at it now, they would never be together.
No. Oh, well, we need to send it to him. His predictions on the notebook.
Yeah. Yeah, movies like The Proposal, which I think did it really good.
You say that, but it started off
It's not
really bad. Proposal is probably one of my favourite romance films. It's hilarious. I love that film. But if you think about how it went about, realistically, they are two very different people. Realistically, would it last? Because they fell in love with each other whilst they was at his parents' house, right?
Yeah.
But then in the corporate world, they hated each other when they worked together.
But I think I agree. But then again, they make hints about you see her humanity, you see like
Yeah, but then when they go back to work, is she going to go back to her bossy, horrible self, and is he going to go back to himself?
But
Like, how does that
I
work?
think the way I saw it is that she didn't want to get in this fake visa thing because she realized that this fake marriage had consequences because she didn't realize how involved his family was. If she didn't care about that and cared more about her job, we don't know if they'd actually stayed together or longer.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, if she didn't care about hurting his family and him in the process, she would have just been like, I'll go with the marriage anyway.
Yeah.
And I think, regardless of that, I think, to me, she understood that. And then at the end, it's like, she didn't even have the job. Didn't she have to get...
I can't remember that ended. I just remember them snogging in the middle of the workplace, in all honesty,
I-
which interpersonal relationships during the workplace is not a good idea.
I mean, it starts with your typical romance, like love, haters.
Haters to lovers, yeah.
But then,
I hate that trope. If I hate someone, I continue hating them. Like, it's really hard to win me over. And like, if you've hated someone in the beginning, there's a reason why you hated them. So like, just because they've won you over, their original habits are still going to stand. They're still going to be their annoying selves.
so then, do you think Greece would have never worked?
I hated Greece. I hate Greece. In my opinion, the whole like idea of Greece is you've got to change yourself.
Yeah, that does make sense because...
The whole idea of Greece is you've got to change yourself for your partner. And I hate that. You need to be yourself with your partner. You don't need to change yourself.
Because that's true, because Sandy wore that, like at the end, the leather piece,
I mean,
and then he wore a white jacket.
Like, they both kind of... I mean, she changed more than he did, but they both still changed to suit their partner. And I mean, I understand, like, you know, if you're with someone, they do kind of rub off on you and you may, like, pick up traits from them, but you do not change completely unless that is something you want to do.
And I think, for example, it's just like... If you didn't like football, for example, and you just decided to watch it and then you find it interesting, you've not changed for him, you've just given it a go because that's something that you didn't give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
And I always think you meet each other in the middle, and a lot of these, I just think rom-coms are just one misunderstanding. One misunderstanding, and it's just like...
What baffles me is, you know, like modern day rom-coms where there's this whole misunderstanding. You could literally text each other and clear it up, but they never do.
Oh, you know what? I was just thinking, how would you meant to do the misunderstanding in a notebook nowadays?
Yeah, like, oh, sorry, my phone was for 2 months.
All I'm thinking is, like, you write the phone number wrong.
Yeah, like, wrong digit. I mean, I guess that's how you do it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's just like...
But then you'd be going on, like, Instagram like, to find the person.
I kind of like The Holiday.
You know, I feel like The Holiday works, though, because they were forced with each other, but they weren't.
So, you know what I liked about it? They're both... I don't remember their names, but the female leads both sides. The one who liked...
All I can think of is Rose from Titanic.
Was she the...
She was in Titanic, wasn't she?
The American or the British?
The British.
Oh.
Because the other one's Cameron Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not yeah, but...
What's her name? It's literally in my head. But yeah, no, I think...
It's not Keira Knightley. No, but I think... Because what I liked is they gave them the shitty scenario in the beginning. Yeah. They gave, I think...
I mean, they both hated their lives and needed a bit of a break. So they just swapped houses. But for me, it was organic. If I remember correctly, it was organic how they met the person they ended up staying with. Oh, yeah. Because no one knew that they'd switched houses. So these other men are just popping up like, who are you and why are you here? Like,
and you know what? Jude Law's character, his storyline with his kids.
Oh.
She's just thinking this so-called Sophie is some random.
Yeah.
It turns out to be the kid, but the thing is, he didn't want to put himself in a vulnerable space.
Yeah.
But then he just fell in love, and then I think she was just like, "There's kids. Why didn't you tell me about the kids?" But then I feel like
when you've got kids, you've got to be really protective of them. I know a few people who split up with someone with kids, and they didn't let any like future partner meet their kids straight away. It was always we got to be dating for a few months before you even meet them.
And I love the thing is, you don't get an answer till New Year's whether Jack Black's character went and go see her in London and vice versa.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, I felt like, why isn't Jack Black in more rom-coms? I felt like, to me...
No, he's in Minecraft instead.
I think for me, Jack Black is your typical guy. But...
It worked really well.
He was so charming.
Yeah.
Like, even
he was just like a lovable, goofy guy.
He was kind of like that guy who would end up in the friend zone, or like the guy who just doesn't deserve to be loved, and that's the way I kind of thought he was. But he got the girl in the end, and I thought it was cute.
Very pretty girl.
And I kind of like the balance between Jude,
Jude Law.
that guy. I like the two kind of different.
Because they're very different as well.
Because Jude Law's character gives me
typical Englishman vibes,
Yeah. I think I like that they set up that they're tragic, like they can't be dealing with men. Them two, they weren't even looking for it.
No. See, this is what I liked. It kind of, like I said, it happened organically for me. They weren't looking for love. They weren't. I don't know. It just. You saw the connection being made. And it didn't feel forced. Mm-hmm. It meshed well, and I think the actors have a big part to play in that because their chemistry worked really well together.
And you need the stakes.
Do you know what's another good example of a romance film? Shrek. If you think about it though, he wants his swamp back. He saved the girl for his own personal gain, and then on the way back, they slowly fell for each other, but they didn't tell each other, Like, she fell for his ogre side, he fell for her human side, even though she wasn't an ogre. But she was an ogre, he just didn't know that. Which I still find it crazy how she tries to hide from them that she's an ogre when he's literally an ogre. I still don't understand that.
But then that shows the insecurities in a relationship that could happen.
But no, Shrek, fantastic romance film, in my opinion. And then Shrek and Donkey, power of friendship. It's basically our friendship, me annoying the hell out of you.
Donkey energy. I'm just there
I'm like, Sarah. And you're like, what?
We've been on this call for hours. Get out my swamp.
Get out my swamp. Get out my call. Get off my phone.
But
that's not my Scottish accent, I promise. Romance films need to do better. They need to stop perpetuating this, no, that is not the word. They need to stop displaying toxic romance as what you should look for. They need to show actual nice people and not films where you have to change for the guy.
And I think there needs to be more guys can be friends with girls type of situation.
Yeah, I wish it would stop being oh my god, I'm in the friend zone because I'm such a nice guy, but I really want to be whatever, or other way around where
Rory
the girl.
and Amy from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I'm just I swear there was one episode she was Amy was but I thought you were gay.
In the penny drops. But yeah, so basically the moral of the story, this was basically just a chat about toxic relationships in media and how we think they should.
The Notebook.
Yeah, and how we think they should just do better. Just give us less toxicity. And I mean, I understand it makes for good content. I just want to see a nice pure romance that every single romance has a drama.
But then I think that would be interesting.
I know. But how about non-toxic drama?
A good one is there was this movie it's called Past Lives, where it's all about this idea of two people meet about fate and they never end up together, and I was just like, but it was kind of interesting to see that because I had to watch it twice because in my head it was just like they end up together.
You know what, actually? Weirdly enough, I feel like La La Land did all right. Because, I mean, I know it hits you, it punches you in the stomach, and it's like, oh, this is so sad. But when you see, like, the flash forwards of what their lives would have been like if they stayed, like,
Right,
if they stayed together, they wouldn't have both got what they wanted. So she would have got her life, but he wouldn't have got his. But by continuing on their separate paths, they both got what they wanted.
And the thing is, they both moved on.
Yeah.
She
had like a husband, kids. He moved on. He got his jazz bar that he wanted. Like they were, and she still got her career though. But like by them moving in separate directions, and they played it off as a bit of a sad thing, which is a bit of a shame because I feel like that was good. If they'd stayed together, it wouldn't have worked. And sometimes you've just got to be mindful of that.
We just say that at the end of the day, you've got to remember that media over exaggerates things, and like we were talking about the power of friendship last episode, we want you to understand that media is not going to give you a guide to love, but we always go back to communication, trust, respect, because at the end of the day, if you don't have those two things,
it's not going to work.
And romance is complicated. A film can never convey those ideas because, like we realised, all these movies we talk about, there's some sort of misunderstanding, some sort of dramatized.
It's always an easy misunderstanding, yeah. Just communicate.
That is film.
But if you actually communicated in real life, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, we just wanted to chat crap about
the Notebook. Right, and on that bombshell.
Like we said, grab a friend, life's lemons.
Work hard, dream harder, all that shiz. Right, bye. Boop.